Hey man, I done heard them say the shit, right? Where they said he was watching the nigga through the TV, right? A nigga just laying in his while a nigga can't sleep, right? Dog, I look at in TV, my nigga, cause I use the sleep music shit to go to sleep. Man, look at this shit, dog. Hey man, y'all gonna get rid of them. We getting rid of TVs, man. Look at this ass Vietnamese, Chinese looking man sitting there. He in some type of studio or something, dog. With the headphone, and this nigga is live right now. This live feed. This nigga live right now. Sitting here watching the nigga, bro, while a nigga sleep, bro. Yeah, you know what nigga ass nigga. See, they don't think a nigga see them, dog. You don't supposed to be able to see their ass, but bro, I don't know what they ass. But you can see the nigga, see his hand moving down there. He's sitting somewhere watching the nigga, my nigga. This what's going on the nigga TV, my nigga. Nigga sitting up and everything doing what you do. Man, these men watching the nigga, bro. Real talk, man. Nigga, man. Yeah, we see you. Look at his hand down there moving. The nigga live right now in the studio sitting there looking at a screen of us right now, dog. At the bottom of hey, man, I done heard him say.
Shalom. Call HALAL, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. That's giving all praise to the Most High. In the name of His only begotten Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to our teachers, the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who taught us His truth and sincerity. Peace and salutations to the whole folk scattered abroad. Shalom to 144,000. Salakia. Yeah, you seen the clip. I'm going to do a few videos today, a few short videos of some things I seen on Instagram, man. You go on Instagram and get a million video topics. But this is one that, is definitely important, something that you got to, consider. Because nowadays you go to buy a TV or somebody may even gift you a TV and it's just a smart TV. Well, with these smart TVs, they can watch you through the other side of them, okay? And it's another video of it. Let me go grab that real quick before I get deeper into it because I don't want to miss nothing. But yeah, we definitely in this time, man. All right, let's play this.
Sounds crazy, but smart TVs can be used as open windows into your home, and not just for corporations, but for anyone with the skills to hack into them. These things come with built-in cameras and always-on microphones, and once they're connected to Wi-Fi, they're vulnerable. Hackers can literally tap in and watch your living room like it's a live stream. We invited surveillance into our homes and called it smart. Here are a few examples of smart TVs watching back.
See, they don't think a nigga see them, dog. You don't supposed to be able to see their ass, bro. I don't know what the fuck. But you can see the nigga, see his hand moving down there. He's seeing something.
Now, the sick, twisted thing about this is you could be, in your house doing, what you want to do in your house, and somebody could be watching you. Okay, his hand moving down there. You can only imagine what he was doing. All right, or could have been doing. All right, but this is the world that we're in. Okay, this is why the Lord got to come back and put things back in this righteous order. You got this dude probably all the way across the world, watching you on your TV. They may be watching you or watching your woman or watching your children. Okay, and you got some very sick people out here, man. I just saw a video of a dude. He was going through the dark web and he was finding out how all these he was finding out how basically he was looking up the dark web and he was seeing all these transactions for X trafficking, okay, children, okay. So these people, they'll be watching you, and then when you're not paying attention, and when you or when you somewhere you're not alert, they may come in there, come to your house or come and get your children or anything, man. But we in the time where you got to understand that we're always being watched. Okay, you are always being watched. So you gotta be spiritual. I was going into that the other day at the camp, and a man came up and we was talking about it as well. But even your phone, I've done videos on this too. Your phone, when you have an infrared light, it shows your phone is constantly taking pictures of you, and that's how they can read your mind. They can literally read your thoughts. That's why, You know how you have a thought about something. You might want to purchase something, right? You might be thinking about purchasing something. You might not say nothing about it. You might not tell nobody about it. You might not even looked it up, but you just thought about purchasing something. And all of a sudden you go on social media and ads for that thing that you thought about purchasing is coming up, you know? And this is the downside of this technology. Okay. It after a while it controls you, you know, and then you can't even control it. All right. It's wicked, bro. It's wicked. And this is why YAHAWASHI got to come back and destroy all this stuff, man. Esau's whole infrastructure has to go. Okay, because it's wicked.
Well, watching
okay?
the nigga, this was going on nigga TV, my and the fucking and everything doing what you do. Man, he watching the nigga, bro. Real.
Yeah, you might be being intimate, you know, with your wife or whatever, and the whole time they're filming you, putting it on the dark web, you know. You might have whole flicks of you all over the internet, don't even know it. Okay? This is a wicked and weird world that we are in right now.
Talk,
okay,
man.
Let's play some more.
Look at this pussy, man. Yeah.
Oh, and excuse the language. You know it's Jake. Another thing I thought about too. These other nations, bro. They watching us. You know, they watching Israelites. They watching us Jakes, man. Okay. And even if you watch this video, you know, look at this guy on the other side of this thing. He's a noob, a nincompoop. All right. But they study Jake, all right? The way we talk, the way we act, our mannerisms, the way we dress. They study us, man. They literally study us, okay? And that's all he's doing. He's, motherfucker over there studying you. People are sick, bro. And we in a very sick world.
See you flicking his hand down there, move. The nigga live right now in the studio sitting there looking at a screen of us right now, dog.
You watch your TV, but with this hack, your TV can watch you. Show us how that works.
So one of the things that we were able to do with the Smart TV platform was actually abuse the browser to the extent that we could actually gain access to the camera that's built into the TV. Right. And so what we can prove here is that with a little bit of extra code, we can turn the camera on in your browser.
Wow.
And while this is evident to you right here because we've designed it that way, this is something that we can do invisibly and actually have the camera running behind the web page that you're looking at.
So what?
And you know what's crazy about this is my TV in my living room. I actually got it, you know, from my job as like a gift or whatever, you know, and it has a browser. Okay, I can actually use it like the internet. I can go on Google and look up stuff, which is crazy. It's like a whole computer on the wall. But you know, this example he's showing you, this is real. They can actually watch you through these TVs, and there's cameras in these TVs they don't tell you about. Another thing too, like the other guy, he said he sleeps with, you know, sleeping music on. You should never, ever, 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 ever sleep with your TV on. Okay, that's something that I knew growing up since I was a kid. Do not sleep with the TV on because it's, first of all, it's they had a movie about that where it was like, I guess one of the family members got sucked into the TV or something. Some crazy shit. But it was like that white noise, you know. But the point is, there's spirits in this technology, you know. But you know, when you're sleeping with this technology on, there's frequencies is messing up your sleep. You know, it's a whole bunch of stuff, you know. So always when you go to sleep, turn your TVs off. You know, you should turn your TVs off. And you know, somebody said in the comments, you know, just cover the TV with a blanket, and that might be something that you might have to start doing. You know, I might have to start doing. Okay, because you never know. Okay, you might have to get a whole TV cover just to cover your TV, and people do that. I've seen people do that. You know, even with your laptop, like the laptop, you got to have like a, you know, if you have a laptop or in even these phones now, you might have to have one for your phone. But you know, with your laptop, you might have to, you know, it's a common thing. Okay, and you see it in a lot of banks and a lot of businesses where they'll block the webcam. Okay, I remember the brother D, Daniela, he gave me a little thing to block my webcam on my laptop, and I've had it ever since. It's on my laptop. But you know, this is something that you gotta, you know, really take into consideration. We gotta really consider this type of stuff. Let me grab a precept real quick, okay? Because we are definitely in a time where you can't just be simple. It says 2 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 11. It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. You see? So we can't just be ignorant, okay? Being simple. That's how the majority of our people are. They're very simple, ignorant. They're just going about the day. They don't realize, or take into consideration anything. But we can't be like that. Okay, it says so that Satan will not outsmart us, for we are familiar with his evil schemes. That's in the NOT. Okay, we are familiar with this man's evil schemes. And when we go into this word for devices, let's go into this word for devices. Okay. Yeah, we know what this devil is doing. We see what you're doing. We are familiar with your evil schemes. When you go into the word devices,
Naima.
it says naima. It says a mental perception, thought, and evil purpose. Somebody purposely did it. They putting cameras in your TVs on purpose. Okay, this was a evil, thought. Okay, it says that which thinks the mind, thoughts, or purpose. So yeah, what was the purpose of them doing this? To watch you. Okay, when you go buy a brand new phone, you are just upgrading your tracking device. Okay, they're spying on you with this technology, and if a regular hacker can do this, how much more your government? It was an article that came out. Or video that came out a few weeks ago, which I still got to go into it, about how the CIA and the FBI is watching the so-called black Hebrew Israelites. Okay, yeah, they're watching you, and by any means. Okay, it says, and they got you in a database. They're tracking, okay, or logging your every thought. They can read your mind now. Okay, did you know with your Wi-Fi router, they can see everything in your house. They can see through the walls in your house with your Wi-Fi router. That's why we did a video a few weeks ago as well about getting a Wi-Fi EMF blocker. Okay, it's like a cage that you put your Wi-Fi router in. Okay, so that it doesn't emit harmful radiation waves and stop certain frequencies from emitting off that router that you don't want. Okay, it says a perception, a purpose, or by implication, the intellect, disposition itself, device, mind, thought. Right. So these evil schemes, somebody schemed this up in their mind and say, yeah, let's put this in these smart TVs and let's sell them. All right. You notice these smart TVs are getting cheaper and cheaper. So you think you're getting a deal. You think you're getting a steal. And the whole time you're getting, exploited. All right.
This means is I could be sitting here watching TV from my bedroom, and you could be anywhere in the world looking at this image of me watching.
Yep, I could be sitting on a laptop in a cafe in Paris, and as long as I have a network connection, I'd be able to get into your TV and access the camera.
Where the is Jordan? I'm on a movie website. What? How did that happen? Wait, did you see that someone just moved it? Wait.
Hold on.
At this image of me watching.
Yep, I could be sitting on a laptop in a cafe in Paris,
something.
and as long as I have a network connection, I'd be able to get into your TV and access the camera.
Where the is Jordan? I'm on a movie website. What? How did that happen? Wait, did you see that? Someone just moved it. Wait.
I'm recording. What the
Shut
fuck is this?
What is this?
Stop, I'm creeped out!
Jordan, look at all the records and stuff up here. Yamaha. What is that stuff? What? Okay. Wait, is this here, Jordan? Is this here in our complex?
No, that's not our complex, right?
How do you?
That's not our complex. That's not what it
That's
looks
someone's
like.
off. What are they? Jordan, someone's asleep right there. Oh my God!
Joel, stop!
Jordan, look at his feet. Someone's asleep right there, Jordan.
Wait.
Jordan.
What the? Please stop! I'm getting the chills. I'm scared.
I'm literally.
Are y'all seeing this?
I am
Look at
literally shook. This just popped up on my TV. Jordan,
this is the exact time
Jordan,
too. What time is 4:21? So wherever that is 2 hours behind us.
This is gonna go viral on Instagram if you post this. Jordan, post this on your Instagram. Oh my God.
Yeah, so with the airplay and all this stuff, man, And another thing too, he said how you can oh yeah, and you can mirror your your TV from
for
your phone.
corporations, but for
You can mirror your your TV through your phone. But he also said like a movie app. It's like you had these movie apps. That's really like it's giving you viruses on your device and stuff. And you got people that can hack these things and jump up in there and watch you. Okay. Yeah, so just something that you just got to be mindful of. It's just another thing that you got to worry about here in this wicked ass kingdom, and it's unfortunate it has to be that way, but it's the truth. Okay, you come here for the truth, you're gonna get the truth. You can't handle the truth. Yeah, the truth hurts, man. The truth sucks. Okay, when you really get down to the truth, there's a saying. It says the truth, it will set you free, but first it's going to piss you off. Okay, so yeah. It'd be best not to be, invest in these things. Like I told myself I was never going to buy another TV again, and I got one from my job, and it happened to be, a damn Google smart TV, which I use it for my videos. I use it to do videos on and stuff. So if you is watching me through that TV, all you seeing is me doing videos, you won't get edified. It says Psalm chapter 10, verse 1, it says, "Why standest thou afar off, O Yahawah? Why hidest thyself in the times of trouble?" Yeah, it seems like the Lord is hiding himself. Like, where, how is this going on? It says, "The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined," right? Their evil schemes or plots. Let them be taken in that. And they're going to be taken in that. Because the more they move and the more they do, it's only solidifying their own destruction. Okay? "For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous, whom Yahweh abhorreth." You see, the wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts. These people do not believe in YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI. Okay, they do not reverence YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI. They move, with evil intentions. Okay. They don't follow the same laws, statutes, commandments, and guidelines and protocols that we follow. These people are ruthless. They could be selling this this film of you, okay, to the highest bidder on the dark web, okay, of your children, walking around with no clothes on, your woman walking around with no clothes on, of you walking around with no clothes on. Some of these comments, it says, yeah, you got some simpletons. What kind of TV even has a camera? Okay, that person didn't understand the assignment. Somebody said, "What about when the TV is off?" And truth be told, they can watch it when the TV is off too. It says it's still on and recording audio and video 24/7, 365. Never hook any TV up to the internet. Use a Roku stick or Fire Stick. I guess. But now they got it built into the TV now. Now they got it built into the TV. It says it's never off if it's still plugged in. Yeah, so now you got to start unplugging this stuff. And that's something that I'm going to start doing too, just unplugging everything. How do someone check for this? I haven't watched any TV in about 4 years, and I've collected all the TVs at home. Or they're going to see a whole lot of baby making and fun times. Yeah, that's what they want to see. Somebody said, "This is why I don't have a smart TV, nor do I have a TV in the bedroom." Yeah, that might be wise. Nowadays, Jake, you got a TV in every room. But, somebody said electrical tape to the camera to the camera time. Well, it's probably cameras all throughout the TV. You don't know, where the camera at. All right, so yeah, that's just something that it's got to be a few more precepts though. Just going into this point because, bro, this wickedness is nothing but pure wickedness. Psalm chapter 10, verse 6. He saith in his heart, "I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privately set against the poor. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. He croucheth and humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. Right. These devils are actually, setting up these traps and snares that to trap you up. Somebody could be watching you across the world for, months, if not years, and they could plan a trip to come to your area just so they can come and, and they can see what's going on in your house before they even get in your house. This stuff is crazy. They know who all in the house. You don't think this man know who all? That's why you women out there that don't have a man, you need a man. Because without a man, you in trouble. Okay, that's your first form of defense is is the man in your house. If you don't have a man in your house, and these motherfuckers watching you and can kick in your door anytime and snatch you up, what are you gonna do? You see, we in some very, very trying times. Let's grab a few more precepts and let's close out. Okay, this is Ephesians chapter 5, verse Ephesians chapter 5, let's go to verse 10. It says, carefully, in the NLT, carefully determine what pleases the Lord. Take no part in worthless deeds of evil and darkness. Instead, expose them, right? Because you got people that will take advantage of this and exploit this. Knowing this knowledge, they will use it, themselves. We're not doing that. We are exposing these things, okay? It says, it is shameful even to talk about the things that that ungodly people do in secret, right? You don't even want to, you can't even wrap your mind around what these people are doing behind closed doors. You don't even want to, try to wrap your mind around it. It'll bug you out. Okay, it'll bug you out. You ever see in the TV shows and the movies that paranoid individual that's, bugging the hell out, that's freaking out, that's losing his mind, that can't think straight. He's constantly, looking over his shoulder. He's constantly watching out for screens, watching out for cameras. Yeah. It says, verse 15, so be careful how you live. Don't live like fools, but like those who are wise, right? You can't just be simple, going about your day like nothing's going on, like nobody's trying to get you. Somebody's always out to get you, and somebody's always watching. It says, make the most of every opportunity in these evil days. Don't act thoughtlessly, right? Don't act thoughtlessly. Now people nowadays are acting very unthoughtlessly or thoughtlessly. It says, but understand what the Lord wants you to do. You see, understand what the Lord requires of us, man. All right. And we're not going to have our rest until we get the hell up out of here. What's that? Micah 2:10. It says, Micah chapter 2:10, it says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. So you can't sit in your room and kick your feet up no more and think that it's, you can get no. Okay. You be mindful of these things. And that's why I said, bro, I got some time off today. So I'm going to go through a few of these little short videos, and I'm trying to make them short. So lucky, but I'm going to go through a few of these little short videos that I seen on Instagram, bro. Because you go on Instagram and, at least me, with my feed, it's like all type of information coming out. And I want to go into these things. I ain't gonna make it no long drawn out video, but I want to go into these things and, show you what's really going on, because you have no idea. If you just sitting back chilling, in la-di-da-da world, you have no idea what's going on around you. These devils have technology that's beyond what you can imagine. All right. It says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. This place is polluted. It shall destroy you even with a sore destruction. Right. Everything is poisonous now. I just saw a video before I did this video about how it was, they got these YouTube shows, because, these kids, they watch these YouTube shows. You send your child to a daycare and all they doing is They got them sitting down watching somebody on YouTube or whatever. But they got these YouTube shows now where you got sick individuals that's, telling kids to kill, to off their parents, to unalive their parents. It's sick, okay? That's why it's called television programming. They're programming you, okay? They're programming your mind. They're programming your children's mind. So one day you might wake up and your child be standing over your bed with a knife in a trance and trying, what the hell going on? But this is the world that we live in. Okay, this is the world that we are in right now, man. This place is sick. It says, because it is polluted, it shall destroy you even with a sword of destruction. Let's go into this word polluted. All right, and we'll close out. I won't make this too long. It says to be unclean, become impure. It says to be or become unclean sexually, religiously, ceremonially, to defile oneself, to be defiled. All right, and this place is completely defiled. Okay. It ain't just a TV no more. Now it's a goddamn tracking device. It's a camera. It's all kind of stuff, and it's all being used against you in a wicked, a wicked way. Okay, that's the point though. I pray this lesson was edifying to the full elect. Shalom, Kwame Sharala, Baba Ball, and on to the next one. I think that was the point. Let me see what we got right here. Yeah, that's the point. Shalom, Kwame Sharala, Baba Ball.